YouTube! What the crap is going on? Welcome back to All Things Nerdy, where we bring you all things nerdy. Now for today, I'm playing another game of Rome 2 Total War online against my opponent. I'm playing as the Getae versus Pontus. Now, you can see here on this map, kind of starting off in a disadvantage for us. I'm going to go ahead and pause things here. We start way over here, whereas my opponent starts about right here at the bottom of this hill. Easy climb for him to get up to the top of the hill fairly quickly. So, as you saw at the beginning, I have my horsemen over here. I want to get up here as quick as I can. I put my main army over here thinking my opponent would start over here, come up to the top point of this mountain hill, and just kind of camp up here. So I wanted to move up here. That way, if I did need to fight, it would not be as steep of a hill going this way as it would straight up. So let me go ahead and introduce you to my army here. I have 2 spear horsemen, 2 noble horsemen three spear horsemen and a noble horse. Spear horsemen, not the best unit. They're fairly cheap unit. And the noble horse is a little bit more of their elite unit. Not a great cavalry unit, but they do have these spears, so they do have a hidden bonus versus cav advantage. Anything that has a spear, they get a little bit of shake there. They get a bonus versus cavalry, even if it doesn't explicitly say it. They still do get a bonus versus cav, so that's important to remember and know. So if you're fighting an opponent and it doesn't say spear horseman, it just says noble horse. But you zoom in, you see these spears here. He's going to have a bonus versus cavalry. So you're throwing in a regular sword cav, melee cav. He's probably going to have a little bit more of an advantage, depending upon all the other little variables, armor and everything. Charging downhill. Over here, this is my main army. Up front, I have 3 noble swords. This is going to be my main infantry. Behind them, I do have 1 heavy bowman. Didn't realize, I thought I brought 2 of the same, but a heavy bowman and a regular bowman. Not sure how to pronounce that. Dacian? Probably just butchered the hell out of it. Behind them, I do have a mercenary axe warrior, just a very cheap vanilla unit. Threw in there as a backline, maybe be able to use them as a flank. Over here, my general is a noble spear unit. He's more of a defensive rock, and that's exactly what we're hoping to use him for. Over here, I do have 2 phalanxmen. These guys are nice. They don't have any. Oh no, only a 1. So yeah, I thought they didn't have any, but they do have a 1 as far as melee defense. These guys are much more suited for a charge, flanking. These guys are not meant to be your main infantry line. They're not going to be something you can really count to weigh things down. Back here, I do have several spear units, spear warriors and 2 spears. You know, these guys don't look as cool as Rome. Oop, nope. There we go. Don't look as cool as Rome, but they still look very nice. Let's look at the spear warriors. Yeah, very nice. And then back here, you can see I've got a Thracian cav. Or I thought I had a. Oh, there's my Peltus. Skirmisher and a Peltus unit. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw things into play here. So I'm charging immediately. I want to get my cav straight up onto this hill as quick as I can. See maybe if I can deter him from getting up here and camping on things. So they move, then I start moving my main army forward. And you'll kind of see here the predicament I come into. Now, for this faction, the Getae, they don't have a superior cav unit. You know, noble horsemen, that's a decent unit, somewhat expensive, but they're not that elite cav unit that just you don't want to fight. So I do get up here. I get the hill advantage, so I see this immediately, and as you saw, I throw them straight into an attack order. Now they do get blobbed up here, but I figured having the hill advantage and the charge advantage, I would win. I do even pull this back unit back to try and get around a little bit. My opponent brought his army over here. So, great job on my opponent's part. Let's go ahead and throw it into slow motion and introduce you to his army. Up front here, he's got several pike units. Didn't think he was going to bring them, but being Pontus, I guess I should have not been surprised. Out here on his flank, he's got 2 noble blood cav. Again, being Pontus, having a lot of cav, I should have realized that. And then back here, several eastern archers. So, what he's planning on doing, they look nice. What he's planning on doing, throw these guys into pike formation and then just shoot the crap out of me until I'm whittled down. And back here he's got several Pontic swordmen, cheap unit. That's what they're going to be good for, is taking down whatever's left. And then a Pontic royal cav. So over here, I'm slowly winning the cav game, but these guys, they've got good melee defense. A lot of armor and health, so it's going to take me a while to win this up. Just what's going to happen. Now, I didn't want to go ahead and charge up, even though it'd be more so on even hill. I didn't want to go up here and into his pikes, so let's throw it into play here. So I pulled my men back, realizing, alright, if I can wrap up the cav game over there, I can use that to go ahead, bring them around, start putting pressure on his backside, and you see my opponent realizes he's not going to win. 1 unit routed, he's going down, he's trying to run away, maybe even get a counter charge of his own. I realize this as well, so I'm chasing him. Well, at least 1 unit's chasing him. There's the other ones going. Still getting a downhill advantage. I'm trying to now whittle his pikes down with some fire. Oh, my Peltus moved out here. So he left his noble blood. I forgot. His noble blood cav just chilling over here. So I brought my Peltus forward, and my Thracian cav started putting some hurt on him. So, very nice. Whereas over here, I'm just bringing my heavy bowman forward. I don't want to try and be in range of these eastern archers. They're gonna do a lot of damage. I mean, they've got 29 missile damage. They're gonna puncture some armor, and these guys, especially with my bowmen, they're not a very armored unit. My noble swords, they've got a decent armor, but I don't want them taking losses because this is my main infantry line. So I'm going to start shooting over here as pikemen. When they have their pikes down, this is important. When their pike is down, they lose their bonus with their shield. So their armor rating actually goes down, and that's when it's most opportune to be firing into them. Now, I don't think he's already brought him over here yet. Here in a minute, you'll see a nice little flanking force of his coming over here to lock me in, which won't be good for us. That's not what we want to have happen. Yeah, there it comes. Pontic swordsman, not too threatening, but that charge, they can still do damage, especially getting a downhill charge on us. But that's alright. Now, my spears, I have no quarrel with them getting shot if my men are moving forward. They're not getting shot right now, but they're starting to, actually. When they're just sitting here getting shot for no reason, why? There's no benefit of my men dying, you know. So I do go ahead and move it back. I'm going to start actually realizing, okay, he moved his other noble blood out towards the cav fight over there. I'm going to go ahead and start doing some outflanking maneuvers, bringing my swordsmen out, or my spearmen out around. That's going to cause him to either A, stretch this line out as much as he can, or B, he's going to have to start creating holes. When he creates these holes, that's when I'm going to really excel. And I'm going to go ahead and move these guys in around, doing the same thing. Charging unit, that's what they're there for. They have very, very little armor. 10 armor. Yeah, so you can see they're already getting shot to hell by those archers. They just have no defense. You see several, no shirts. Arrow hits, you're done. So I'm starting to lose the cav game now. His noble bloods over here. They're going to start mopping things up. But the most important thing I've done is I've pulled two sword units out, as well as his cav unit. Haha. So by doing that, that's what this is allowing me to start getting more of a flanking force going. Start to put some more hurt on his main units. I go ahead and move my bowmen up. They're taking shots. So while they're taking shots, my main units, the more important units, aren't. Even though my general is going to be walking through this, he'll have a chance to get a shot. And he lives. Alright. No losses there. Move my Pontus forward. I'm going to start. I really want to try and whittle down as many of his pikemen as I can. The weaker his pikes get, the thinner his ranks are. You know, my opponent does a good job at keeping them thick. The thinner you make your pike ranks, the easier it is for infantry to get in there and mess things up. So I do throw my phalanx men in. They're just sitting there starting to get shot. His general mopping them up. His Pontic swordsman mopping them up. Complete loss there. This one only got 19, and I think the other one 3. Yeah, so not good at all. But my spearmen are completely around now. I can go ahead and start taking care of those archers, as well as throwing in some side charge here. Even though it's uphill, it's a nice little side charge for us. I'm still throwing my peltis on them. You can see. Let's see if we can see somebody get. Nope. Getting shot from behind too. They lose their shield bonus, which is great for us. Doesn't look like we're going to see a kill. So now that I've got a lot of his units locked down, I can start throwing my spears in into the backs, throwing them into the backs. That'll cause them to lose their spear formation because they're turning around. You see here like them, they're turning around to answer that threat behind them. Even though this is a regular spear unit, they almost rout that unit. Great news for us. We go ahead and throw them in, finish it off, that charge. Even though the pikes could probably poke them back, that initial charge was enough of a morale buster that they lost. We tried to get in on a flanking charge here. It's a thin rank. We didn't really get it, but we're still able to get through because it's thin. It'll be close. General going to come in here and get a nice flanking charge. This game came very, very close down to the wire. Very close down to the wire. We'll see. I'll let you kind of guess here which side you think ends up coming out on top. At the moment, things are looking very heavily in my opponent's favor. He wrapped up that cav game over there. I tried to pull him away, to maybe have him chase him, but nothing came out of it. So he's now got over here. His Eastern Archers are reset up. They're starting to take shots. 85, 105, 38, 63, 82. So he's used them pretty effectively as far as getting the kills that he needs. And now he's getting flanking shots in the back, so that's even better for him. They're going to start racking up even more kill. You can see that was starting to climb up fairly quickly there. Now, bringing my men around here through the side, I was able to go ahead and wrap up this the rest of his pikemen that were there. Good news for us again. Now, since he did bring these Pontic swordsmen, they're a pretty cheap generic unit. I should have no problem with my noble swords taking care of them. Already up to 45, quickly climbing up, climbing down. So that'll be an easy engagement for them. They should be able to win that no problem. And yes, my bowmen are still alive. Didn't expect them to have survived against those Eastern bowmen, but they're still alive, so I'm going to go ahead and just take some shots. They're not going to really do too much except get some arrow fire in there, whatever. Now, as you see here, my Thracian cavalry spear throws nice little light spear cav. After having got them in some charges here, pulled them out, got into his bowmen, his archers. So it does two things for me. A, it disrupts them from firing. You see that they have a lot of kills. They're not firing at my men aren't dying. I kind of figured he wouldn't survive Even if that cav unit didn't come over and help, just the sheer number of archers that were there, I figured they'd be able to finish him off. But we also were able to rout one, having that flanking effect. Let's go ahead and throw it in slow motion here. Having that flanking effect, units behind you or on your side with no support, you get that flanking effect, so you're going to start losing a lot of morale. Great news for us. So we were able to go ahead and wrap some of them. I was going to go ahead here and support him. I figured if I could wrap this up quicker, I could use him to get over here and support my general. My general's doing some work. He's just defensive, hardy, chilling over here, locked down these Pontus swordsmen. Doing exactly like I said at the beginning of this. We wanted him to be a rock. He is being a rock. He doesn't have a whole lot of kills, almost over 100, so decent amount. But we wanted him to be a rock, and that's exactly what we're doing now. He's going to be outflanking us, hitting us on all sides, but we're still a rock. You know, each man's got a kill for the amount of deaths we have. Those bowmen are going to go ahead and rout. We finished up over here. Yeah, okay. So we finished up over here. We're going to start moving in. Go back into play here. Wrap that up. All he has is these Eastern archers. Rather than send both of these guys over here, I'm going to go ahead and break one off to go support my general, let them chase. And the most popular thing to do with archers is to kite. You know, you use one archer, move over here, the other one move over here. You can only chase one. Well, whichever one you don't chase is going to be shooting you in the back. So I didn't want to get into that situation. I wanted to go ahead and wrap up this engagement over here. So by the time they're wrapped up, these archers are going to be freaking out and rout on their own. He realizes this. I think that's what he realized. And he go ahead, intercepts on them, charging them. They're not going to get a lot of kills, if any, but it slows my men down. He went ahead and finished my general off. Great idea. I now lose some morale. No, not. These are noble swordsmen. Noble swordsmen have that encourage ability, so they're not going to have a drop from the general dying. So kudos to us not realizing it, but accidentally planning it that way. It was accidentally on purpose. Packing that. So now that we've got them finished up, the charge was big enough shock for them that things are finished up. We're going to go ahead, get a nice rear charge here. This unit's exhausted. Shouldn't be too hard for us, being a better sword unit anyway. And we pull just barely out a win. Good game to my opponent. It was a very close game. I've been experimenting a lot with different types of armies and throwing together different mixtures and random units in there to see if I could come up with something different that you don't really get to see all the time. So this is one of them. We just quickly threw together. Again, good game to my opponent. Let's check out the after screen. His archers, 131, 93, 105, 66, 46. So he did spend a decent amount of money on them, even given an upgrade to this one here, but he still got a decent return. Not the kind of return he was probably hoping for, but a good one nonetheless. Great strategy on his part. You know, these are cheap pike units. Set them up. Unless you're going to be able to outflank them, these archers will just pick you apart. You can't really get back there. These swordsmen are out there on your flanks. That's a sound strategy. We were just able to have a nice little bit of a leverage with using our cav in a downhill charge. Pulled away some of his cav units, or all of his cav units, as well as a couple swordsmen, which left his flank exposed. So we were able to get around and do some damage. Looking here, this noble sword looks like it's going to be the unit of the day with 224 kills. Still pretty healthy too. They didn't lose a whole lot of men. Still managed 224 kills. Probably got in on that archer charge there at the end. Close behind them is this other noble blood or noble swords, 220, and this noble sword is also 214. This is where we excelled. We put our main money into our infantry. these noble swords, and they turned around and returned for us. We used them effectively, got our return. Again, like I said in another video, this game is all about how you spend your money and use that money effectively. Now, this axe unit here, Mercenary Axe Warriors, they're a cheap unit. I didn't expect them to get 107 kills by any means. A unit to kind of watch my back lines. I could have brought a Levy Freeman, probably been a little bit smarter, but we used them effectively, so that effectiveness, we doubled our return essentially. Again, good game of my opponent. Go ahead and show us some nerdy love by hitting the like button. Help us grow this channel so we bring a community for all nerds. We're going to start bringing more things to you, hopefully. I know this is like the 5th video in a row I've said that, but we're still working out some kinks and different things. But leave a comment in the comment section below. How would you have used this army? What kind of strategy would you have done? If you're familiar with this faction, what kind of army would you have brought against Pontus? If you were Pontus, what kind of strategy would you have used to counter the one we use? And again, till next time, guys, stay nerdy. Have a good one.